In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 8, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Ohio State versus Michigan State. The third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes take their 5-0 record to the road for the first time this season when they travel to East Lansing to take on the 2-3 Michigan State Spartans. The Buckeyes demolished the Spartans in Columbus last season, 56-7, with both teams ranked in the top 10 at the time. The two teams seem to be going in opposite directions this season, but the Spartans have an opportunity to turn things around with an upset of Ohio State. Ohio State is 8-1 against the spread in their last, the 10th of October games, and 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 conference games. The over is 4-1 in Ohio State's last 5 conference games. Michigan State is 7-2 against the spread in their last 10 home games, and 5-1 against the spread in their last, the 6th of October games. The under is 5-1 in Michigan State's last 6 games. The under is 6-1 in these two teams' last 7 head-to-head meetings. The Spartans have struggled against Power 5 teams this season, losing 3 straight games against them. They haven't been able to get going offensively, especially on the ground, which was their strength last season. Their passing game also hasn't been impressive. The Buckeyes have done a great job defensively this season. They are very good at defending the run and even better against the pass, and won't have trouble shutting down the Spartans, who are held under 20 points in each of their last 2 games. The Buckeyes had the 3rd best scoring offense in the country, and they are ranked in the top 20 in passing and rushing. The Spartans had the 53rd best run defense in the country, but they struggled against teams that run the ball well, giving up 415 rushing yards in their last 2 games, while allowing their opponents to average 5 yards per carry, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Buckeyes, who average more than 220 yards on the ground. They have been worse against the pass, with their pass defense ranked 106th in the country. They don't get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and they're facing a team that throws for over 300 yards per game, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Buckeyes in this game. I understand the allure of getting 3 touchdowns and a bit free with a decent Michigan State team, but the wheels are off of the cart for the Spartans right now, as they've fallen and are having a hard time getting back up. I believe that this Ohio State team is out to make an example of every team that's put in front of them, and are out to leave no doubt to the selection committee should they run the table. So the Ohio State Buckeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total line has jumped up 2 points over the course of the week. The Buckeyes will win this game by 4 touchdowns, but this game will stay under the total. In their 2 previous meetings, the total has finished under 64.5 points in each matchup in 2 Buckeye blowouts. Ohio State has the number 1 scoring offense in the country, so they will certainly score over 40 points in this matchup. Michigan State, however, has had trouble scoring this season. They are just the 71st ranked scoring offense on the season and have averaged just 6 points per game in the last 2 matchups. The Spartans are also 4-0 to the under in their last 4 home games. They are also 5-1 to the under in their last 6 games overall. Ohio State will run away with this one, but the Spartans won't score enough to get past the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Connecticut versus Florida International. The Yukon Huskies and the Florida International Panthers will face off on Saturday evening at Ricardo Silva Stadium in a non-conference matchup. The Huskies are 2-4 this season and are coming off of a 19-14 home win over the Fresno State Bulldogs, where freshman quarterback Zion Turner went 8 of 15 for 130 yards with a touchdown pass, as well as 10 rushing attempts for 23 yards. The Panthers are 2-2 this year and are coming off of a 21-7 road win over the New Mexico State State Aggies as sophomore quarterback Grayson James finished going 1-3 of 19 for 175 yards with 3 touchdown passes as well as 18 carries for 43 yards. Connecticut is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games and 18-37-2 against the spread in their last 57 road games. The over is 3-1 in Connecticut's last 5 road games. FIU is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games against independent teams and 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games. The over is 17-7 in FIU's last 24 games. Both of these teams sprang big upsets last weekend, and they have both been among the worst FBS teams for several years. So the sweet taste of victory was like cold water for a starving man in the desert. Now the Huskies come in as a favorite, but I think it's a little too much too soon to make them a 4-point favorite on the road. FIU just scored a road win last week, and that home crowd should be pumped to celebrate the upset and keep that momentum going with another win. The Panthers have proven to be pretty decent against the run, and that is UConn's strength. You could make a good case either way in this one, though. FIU managed 334 yards of offense and 20 first downs in the win over New Mexico State. The Panthers took good care of the ball with 0 turnovers and did a nice job on defense with just 221 yards allowed. As for UConn, they played pretty well against Fresno State themselves with 313 yards and 20 first downs on offense. The Huskies benefited from a trio of turnovers and an inept Fresno State offense, though 0 for 9 on 3rd and 4th downs. This should be a slightly tougher matchup. This game will be close, and UConn might eke out a win, but it won't be by more than a field goal. So the FIU Panthers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. These are 2 of the most anemic offenses in college football, as FIU averages about 18 points per game and UConn averages roughly 15 points per game. Even in wins last week, their total were low, with UConn scoring 21 points and FIU scoring 21 points. UConn likes to run the ball and win in the trenches, so I expect them to try and slow things down with the run game and eat up the clock. UConn ranks 100th in time of possession, but usually they are getting blown out, so they are 3 and out. But in this game, they have an opportunity to grind out long drives, which will keep the possessions by FIU at a minimum. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. South Carolina versus Kentucky, a pair of programs from the East Division of the Southeastern Conference battle on the gridiron in search of a victory in the Bluegrass State. The South Carolina Gamecocks are on the road as they take on the number 13 Kentucky Wildcats Saturday night. South Carolina comes in off a one-sided 50-10 home victory over FCS program South Carolina State in their previous contest last Thursday. Kentucky battled only to end up falling 22-19 on the road at number 14 Ole Miss last Saturday in their most recent game. In the all-time series between the programs, the Gamecocks own an 18-14-1 edge, though the Wildcats have won the last 2 matchups. That includes a 16-10 road victory in the most recent contest on September 25, 2021. South Carolina is 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 road games and 3-13 against the spread in their last 16 conference games, while the over is 10-1 in their last 11 road games. Kentucky is 6-1 against the spread in their last 8 games overall and 19-5-2 against the spread in their last 26 games against a team with winning record, while the under is 5-1 in their last 6 games overall. Of course, the Levis question mark looms largely, but the other facets of Kentucky's game should be enough to do in the Gamecocks. South Carolina's problem is that they don't stop the run, allowing 186.4 yards per game, and the Wildcats can take advantage, especially if Levis is playing injured. The Wildcats are to 3-0 at Kroger Field this season and have won their last 5 at home dating to last season. The 6-point spread in this game could be risky when it comes to an Southeastern Conference showdown, but Kentucky continues to prove that they are capable of backing their hype, and South Carolina will continue their trend versus ranked opponents this season. I came into the year thinking that Spencer Rattler would make more of a difference for the Gamecocks, but the reality is that there are bigger problems for South Carolina that a high-level transfer QB can't even fix. Kentucky is one of the Southeastern Conference teams that keeps flying under the radar year after year, and I just like what Kentucky is doing so far this season. All signs point to the Wildcats in this one, so the Kentucky Wildcats to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In their 2 games versus ranked teams, the Gamecocks have allowed 44 or more points. They also struggle to stop the run, and that becomes an issue against top teams that once they get a comfortable lead, they can run it down your throats. It will be a matter of how much the Gamecocks can cook up in the first half before Kentucky's defense does their usual buckle-down routine in the second half. All in all, the two teams should have enough to put this well past the 46.5 points on the board. I envision this one finishing 34-20 over the projected total as our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.